How are you this morning?
I'm fine. Was the fifth grade scooter bad? Good, pretty good. Biggest issue is if you didn't calculate right, most of you didn't show me any work between plugging in and getting an answer, so you lost 10 points.
Wait, what if I did like the charts?
What, showed me how you convert it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but most of you didn't make a mistake converting. It's like if you wrote, most people wrote something down like this. You wrote, let's just say you had V, you had 760, you had 273, you had, and I don't remember the numbers, I'm just gonna make something up, 450, you had 820, and you had 302. All right, and then you had V equals 75. Okay, and that's the wrong answer. Okay, let's just say that's the wrong answer. Do I have any idea how you got that?
Yes. Well, what if I put what P1, P?
Yeah, that's great. I gave you 10 points for all of that.
Okay.
Okay, my problem is I don't know how you got from here to here.
Okay, so for
How'd you do it?
For the temperature, I just added it in.
Some of y'all wrote stuff like,
No.
I'm just making up some numbers here. Okay? Now, do I know what any of those numbers came from? Am I going to sit with my calculator and punch to figure out how you got those numbers?
Okay.
But my point is, once you write this and you write V equals, and none of those numbers make any sense to me, it's minus 10. If you put the crisscross thing and you wrote V 760, 302 equals 273, 450, 820, and you showed me that, you got some partial credit. The people I took minus 10 off of didn't show me any of that. The vast majority of the people in this room didn't show me any of that. You went from this to V equals, and again, I don't know what it equals, 120, and I was like, great, that's the wrong answer. How'd you get from that to that?
Okay.
You just punched on the calculator, got a number, and wrote it down. I don't know how you got it. Go ahead, Michaela.
For the temperature, I didn't put the Celsius. Like I added the.
That's fine. I didn't take off for that.
Like I didn't write the Celsius at all in my.
When I told y'all those were standard deductions, if you forgot to change to Celsius to Kelvin, it was a standard deduction. When you converted, for example, in number 5, you had to change PA to ATM. Most of you did ATM. Nobody changed it to something else. If you did not change PA to ATM correctly, it was minus 5. I didn't care if you showed me the chart or didn't show me the chart. It was minus 5. Okay? At this point, I'm assuming we can make those conversions. So whether you showed me or you didn't show me, it was minus 5. If you don't show me how to get from this to this and there's no work, I assume your algebra's crappy. Minus 10. Say what? Oh, minus 1. If you didn't put a unit on it, minus 1. Several of you forgot your units on your answers. So after I took off minus 10, I went back and wrote minus 1 for the unit. So you lost 11.
But the work mostly only really matters if you got it wrong.
Yes. If you didn't show me any work and you got it right, I didn't take off for it. But you had to have something. Now, if there was nothing on your paper, I would take it off minus 20. Okay? You got to show me work. All right, let's talk Avogadro's principle. And Zaria's really going to be mad because one of yours was right and you scratched out the right answer and put that one wrong answer.
I knew it.
All right, so Avogadro's principle. We said yesterday, we drew a couple boxes, right? And we said, if you had, let's say, 2 liters today. Okay, so if we have 2 liters. Nope, we did part of it yesterday, right? Okay, it doesn't matter what it is. 1 liter, 2 liters is the same. Okay, and I say that they have the same temperature and pressure. 2 liters, same temperature and pressure. What do we know about the number of molecules? It's the same number of molecules. Okay, they have equal numbers of molecules. So yesterday, I was trying to flip it and go backwards. So I said, what if we had 1 mole in a container? All right, what do we know about a mole? This is just review. What do we know about a mole? It's Avogadro's number. So each of them have 6.00 times 10 to the 23rd, 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. So again, if we have the same temperature and pressure, what does that tell us about the volumes?
The same.
The volumes will be the same. Okay? Now, Avogadro was a pretty smart guy. So he came along and he said, let me alter that a little bit. So instead of saying he's going to have the same temperature and pressure, he said, let's change it to STP. So if he has 1 mole of particles and he has the same temperature and pressure, he was able to figure out what the volume is. Yes, the volumes are equal, but he figured out what the volume actually is. All right, so this is a special case. 1 mole of gas at STP is equal to 22.4 liters. And it has a name. It's called standard molar volume. Okay? 1 mole of gas at STP is equal to 22.4 liters. It is called standard molar volume. All right? So, Avogadro says if you have the same particles in both containers, you know the volumes are going to be equal. So he figured out if we had 1 mole, we could figure out the actual volume. Now, we want to be able to apply this to a word problem. Yes. So, everybody got it? Write that down, and we're going to see if you can find the answer for me. And then we're going to talk about the ideal gas law. Those are the 2 things we have to do before we leave today. Then you're going to have to figure it out on your own. Learning how to use one formula today should not cause us great stress. Well, you're going to have to master it. Yep.
And I'm really bad at this, but I'm pretty much my dog. Okay. Before he'll call you red-handed. Oh, yeah. She was putting it up there, so I really. Mom was helping my desk. Racism. I was really find that piece stuff. No, but she got her. Oh yeah, Miss Wall. My mom got her chicken anyway. Miss Rector said she didn't need the tickets.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So you never found the tickets?
No, I didn't. And it's like a mystery where they disappear too. They're probably in like on the highway somewhere.
Me, Annabelle, and Miss Rector were working on with tickets since we had the chicken.
My mom. What time did it end?
Like 5:30.
Oh, because I didn't know it ended at 5:30, so I told my mom to go after work, and she gets up at 5:30. And she was like, "Allie, you should have told me that it ended at 5:30 because I got there and they were cleaning up." I felt so bad.
All right, so you've lost the chicken tickets and you had your mom show up during cleanup. You're
Yeah,
not very good at this.
I'm really not.
Are you an only child?
No, well, me and my sister are 5 years apart, so sometimes I consider myself. Because she's like 20, but she still lives out because she hasn't gotten her life together yet. But, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so if we look at the problem, first of all, how is this one different from the ones you just worked on the quiz?
Molecule.
All right, first thing it says is molecules. I will tell you, other than a review question that we might see from earlier in the semester, it's the only kind of problem that will have molecules in it. So that's the first thing you should recognize that it has, okay? It also says what about temperature and pressure? All right, does it give you one? Okay, so there's no temperature or pressure. Now, can we assume STP?
No.
No. Okay, so that means there is no formula here.
So what am I gonna do?
What are we fitting to do? Okay, so what can you tell me about the volumes?
They're the same.
Okay, so you can look up here
Oh, because S and T are the same?
and you can tell me the volumes are the same. Now, if the volumes are the same, what did Avogadro say?
That they have the same number of particles. Wait, I don't know.
You're right.
What? Oh, really?
All right, number of particles are the same. Now, you would not actually write all this down. I'm just putting it in your notes. So if the volumes are the same, the particles have to be the same. So what's the answer to the question?
5 point. Yeah, he got it.
That's the answer. Are you with me?
Yeah.
If the volumes are the same, the number of molecules or particles have to be the same. You with me, Daniela?
Wait,
Okay.
so,
The volumes in the question are what? The volumes are the same. So what do we know about the number of particles in the word problem?
they're going to be the same.
They're going to be the same. They're not going to change. Now, what if I try to be super sneaky on the test? Okay? Not real good at that, but let me try. What would happen if I said you start with a volume of 5 and it changes to a volume of 10? What did I do to the volumes? So what would happen to the number of particles?
Double.
It would
Oh
double.
my God.
So how do you double the number of particles?
Times 2.
You multiply it by 2. That's as tricky as it gets. That's as tricky as it gets. Is Xavier going to serenade us? Okay. All right. So the ideal gas law. If I had to take a guess on which law you would see on the exam, it will either be this one or Dalton.
Which one's Dalton?
Maybe the P1 plus P2 plus P3.
That's what I did.
Maybe the combined. But if I had to guess, this would be the one I'd choose. You okay over there?
Yeah, I'm having a good time.
Because this is a major one.
This test doesn't make no sense.
All right, the ideal gas law is PV equals nRT. Now, how is this one majorly different from the ones you just worked on the quiz?
There's more letters.
Okay,
There's an N and an R.
there's an N and an R.
That's new.
How many pressures, volumes, and temperatures do you have?
Only one.
Only one.
That's right.
Okay? On all of the ones you did on the quiz, other than PT equals P1 plus P2 plus P3, you had a P1, a P2, you had a V1 or a V2 or a T1 or a T2. So all of these have only one of each. Now, obviously, pressure, volume, and temperature are the same letters. So what is N? All right, N stands for moles. Okay? We do not use M for moles because M stands for what?
Molecule.
What does M stand for all semester? Mass.
I was close.
R stands for the ideal
I don't know why.
gas constant. Now, there are 3 of them listed on your reference table. And we could rotate between the 3. I've tried it. Generally, I confuse people when I do it that way. So I have elected to only use one. The one we're going to use is 0.0821 liters times atmospheres over moles times Kelvin. Now, that is a constant. Does that number ever change? No. So every time we use R, we're going to use that number. Now,
That's R?
That's
not
R.
RT?
it's not the T, that's R.
Okay.
Now, that unit is liters times atmospheres over moles times Kelvin. Now, that unit dictates
But
what we have to use for T, for P, and for V. So,
wait, question.
So
So is 0.0821, is that the number of liters times ATM over moles times Kelvin? Or like I'm confused on what that has to do with that.
that's the unit for that number. Just
Oh,
like
a
that's the
unit?
unit for N. That's the unit.
Oh, but that number, we don't have to solve for that number. Like it's already,
It's already there. It's given.
we just have to know it.
Yes.
Okay.
But
Wait.
what this means is every time you plug in T, the unit has to be what? This unit has to be kelvins. It's not hard because we've always used kelvins. What is different? When we used P while ago on the quiz, did P have to be a particular unit?
No.
No. Now, every time we use P in this equation, it has to be what? ATMs. If you forget in this equation to change it to atmospheres, you will get the wrong answer. Because we're using that R, pressure has to be an ATM in this equation. Volume has to be in what unit?
Okay, I'm confused about something.
Hold on. Volume has to be in what unit? Liters in this equation. You have to do it every time you use an equation that has R. So if you think about the quiz today, did the quiz today use an equation that had R in it?
No.
So it wasn't important on those equations because you didn't use R. But when you use R, you have to satisfy the requirements for this number. So pressure has to be in ATMs, volume has to be in liters, moles, and kelvins. Yes.
So that little 0.0821 and the L times, is that together?
Yes.
So what does that mean?
That is the number in its unit. Just like we write 273
Oh.
and K is the unit, we only have a singular letter for the unit. This unit has 4 parts. Okay, you know how we wrote grams over milliliters for density? That had 2 parts. This one has 4 parts. Okay? All right, so write that down. You're going to cry. I got tissues over this.
My cries so I don't show affection in public. I understand. I always cry.
It's one. Do you watch Star Wars?
Hmm?
Do you watch Star Wars? Yes.
I've never done. I tried to watch it.
Yeah, you agree, my children.
And the movies are all out of order, so even if I wanted to watch, I would not be sure.
I've watched them since they first came out.
Wow. Impressive.
Yeah, I don't collect collectibles or anything weird like that, but I do enjoy them.
That's a
I don't
cover.
do that.
Right, what's weird?
Are you watching the new one when it comes out?
I will go and see it over Christmas break. Something,
I
yes.
want a new Harry
I
Potter
can't
book.
do anything.
Yes, I was obsessed in middle school. I used to cry about the books. I had stress out there.
I remember you and Charlie and Kevin.
Yeah, me and Kevin, that was the only thing we talked about. Like, all in Miss Walton's class. I don't remember learning any science. Just Harry Potter.
No, I can't get into Harry Potter.
Just living life. Let me tell you.
Alright, so does everybody have it written? Alright, so tell me how this question will look different to you on the test next week. Because remember, these will all be blended with what was on the quiz. You don't have to be able to tell the difference.
Excuse me.
Inserted.
Really? That's the word that's going to stick out to you?
Yes.
Oh, what is wrong?
Oh.
Guys, alright, Graham should be one of the things that sticks out. Alright? Yep. It'll either be Thursday or Friday. My best guess will probably be Friday, but it'll be next week. Because we will finish M and density on Monday. We'll start volume stoichiometry. We'll do mass volume stoichiometry on Wednesday, review Thursday, test Friday. I just don't think we can get to it on Thursday. All right. That right there is what should jump out at you to tell you it's different from what you did on the quiz. Okay?
Graham.
Grams. You didn't have any grams on the quiz today. So, because you have grams, that's what should point you in the direction of PV equals nRT. So, tell me what we know. What is it? Okay, so I'm going to put a question mark beside P. What?
Does the NC always?
Yes, N is always lowercase for moles. All right, what else do we know?
Volume is 150.
All right, volume is 150, what unit?
Milliliters.
Okay.
We're gonna have to convert that to liters.
Correct. What else do we know? Okay, what else do we know? Where are we putting the grams?
0.825.
All right, R is 0.0821, not 5.
Oh, oopsies.
It's close enough.
Do we have to compose grams to moles?
Yes, so the grams goes next to the moles because it's going to have to be converted. Now, when you look at what you know, check your units. Nothing is in the correct unit except R. All right? Milliliters has to be changed to what? Liters. So, ml has to be changed to liters. Grams has to be changed to moles. And Celsius has to be changed to kelvins. So 25 plus 273 is 298 K. All right, moles gets a 1. What gas do we have up there? What do we know about nitrogen?
Diatomic.
So 14 and diatomic makes a what?
28.
28.
This is annoying.
Wait, which one are the diatomic ones?
Hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine.
So NOF and then down to iodine and then A.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't want to do
Wait,
LOF.
Who's bigger, liter or milliliter?
Somebody saved my
Leader.
How many milliliters in a liter?
Probably like
1,000. Good, Zyra. 150 divided by 1,000. Why am I punching this in? It's 0.15.
0.15.
All right. It's just habit. Sometimes I think to punch it in. All right. So my formula is PV equals nRT. Pressure is, well, we don't know. P, volume is 0.15. N is 0.542. R is 0.0821. Temperature is 298.
Wait.
Questions about what I've done?
Oh my goodness, this is not fun.
What units is the answer gonna be in?
All right. When I go back to PV equals NRT,
That
ATM.
what do we say pressure had to be in? ATM.
Oh, okay, never mind. That was dumb.
All right. So how do I solve for P?
Multiply those three numbers.
Divide by what?
0.15.
I told y'all I won't pick up a calculator till we've solved.
Oh, I just put it in.
That's why I told y'all on your quiz, when I saw those weird numbers, I just wrote -10. I'm not trying to figure out what that crap is.
I got an answer. We need to get this.
I got 88.4. Anybody else get it?
That's what I got.
All right, so 88.4, and what did we say the unit was?
18.
ATM.
I'll be wanting to add an S to the end of that.
You
Because
get-
ATM sounds singular.
Well, then put an S on it, but nobody else will.
Also, I won't get wrong points.
I just think you're odd. And I already think you're odd, so it's okay.
So,
All right, everybody good? Can I turn so we can do another sample? You okay back there?
yeah, okay.
I don't know if we need group therapy, but I'm beginning to think you do need some therapy. But I'll be glad to go and hold your hand.
Thank you.
All right.
Very kind. Math.
Why is there a mask? Oh, wait.
That's fine. We gotta change it from.
All right, so we're gonna find the mass of chlorine. Allie, what mass of chlorine is contained in 300 milliliters?
Math the same as grams,
Yes, mass is always grams.
so we gotta go math to moles. If that's the same thing as grams to moles. What's the other one to moles? Grams to moles. There's nothing.
Molecules, atoms, formula units.
X-ray vision.
Draw on the board.
Caleb, so do you know what's going on in Greenbelt?
No.
Yeah, me
I don't. But it's usually like that. Well, no, it's not usually like that.
Yeah, like I got that quiz and I was like, oh,
Right.
especially don't know how to graph.
Honestly, I did. One of them was like R equals or theta equals, and I just do wrong. And apparently it's something on the circle. But I don't know.
P. Oh, we're supposed to be solving this on our own?
No, I'm just waiting on you. Y'all done? Usually when I go start working it, y'all are all, wait, I haven't written it. All right, so what are we doing? What are we at?
P
P is what?
356.8 kPa. Which
Okay. P is 356.5.8 kPa. What else do we know?
300 milliliters per volume.
Okay. Give me something else I know. You can't have three variables, so we got to know something.
N is the
Wait,
A.
how do we know we're doing
N
that?
is the X. Okay.
It says
R
mass.
is 0.0821.
Is
Is that going to be
not
enough sheet, or do we need
anyone's
to
phone
memorize
because
that?
I'm confused. 27.
All right. So Allie said, how did we know we were using this? How do we know we're using that? Not one of the old
Mass.
formulas. It says mass.
Okay, that's what I thought, but you
Yeah.
didn't respond when I asked, so I didn't know.
Yes.
Are we gonna
That is how we know.
memorize
Okay, so- Say what now?
Are we going to have to memorize 0?
Okay. Where did I say you can find 0.0821 while ago from Michaela? Same place, top chart. All right. So are we good to go? Can we plug in?
No.
Why not?
Gotta convert.
Okay, we gotta convert. So 101.325 should give us 3.5.
Wait, what? 101 point. Do we have that on our quiz? KPA? I don't think we did.
We have PA.
Wait, is that a 3?
If you put 235, it won't make a significant difference.
Let me get a big two.
Are we okay with the two conversions I made? I said one. So in my head, I divided 356.8 divide 101.325. I got 3.52 and I just rounded 3.5. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And I said 300 divide 1,000 and I got 0.3. Is that okay? All right. So 27 plus 273 will be 300K. Are we okay with that?
Yeah.
So we've converted everything, right?
Yeah.
So if we plug in our numbers, PV equals nRT, pressure is 3.5, volume is 0.3, we don't know N, R is 0.0821, temperature is 300. So what do we do to get N?
Multiply everything you can multiply first.
I don't multiply anything. What do I divide by?
Divide by 3.52.
I'm multiplying or dividing by what?
3.5.
Zero,
Wait,
eight,
oh
two,
no, the other one.
Yes. I was going to say no on that. Emma who?
She sets it up before she.
Yeah, same here.
You can do.
I thought we should tell her.
Okay.
It was right there.
Sorry.
Okay. Is everybody okay with why we divided by that instead of the 0.3 or the 3.5? Okay, because we need N by itself, right? So we have to divide by the numbers that are with the N. So we want N by itself, so we divide by 0.0821 and we divide by 300. Yes, Lolly. Whatever's with the variable, you have to divide by. The numbers with the N have to be divided by. So 3.5 times 0.3 and divide by 0.0821, divide by 300. I get 0.0426. Now, this is where people make the most mistakes. What is that? What is that? That's what? That's what people tell me. That's mass. What does N stand for?
Moles.
That's moles. Okay? N is moles. Because this is moles. Okay? The question wants mass. So what do we need to do now?
Convert to
Convert.
grams.
That's what we have to do. We have to draw a chart and we have to go from moles to grams. So what goes beside moles?
1.
And then we need to draw our number in for grams. So grams comes from the compound. What do I have up there?
Chlorine. With
Chlorine.
diatomics.
And it's diatomic.
By 2.
So 35.5 or 35.4.
Oh, it wants
So 71.
So anytime we see mass, we should think grams.
Yes. So 3.0 grams. Questions?
Or do you have 3.02 grams?
Mm-hmm. I'm doing time wise.
Not
Yeah, 5 check. I got 5 minutes.
Oh my god. You start those, we got 10 minutes left.
I can start going for 5. I just thought I'd be kind.
Okay, I like times as well.
I'm going to tell you which ones to do, so keep your paper out.
Is this homework or is it worth class?
Right. I'm not sure you can finish it in 5 minutes, but we can try.
Okay,
What? You have to answer questions. Questions you don't know me.
A little bit less work.
I thought that one was kind of dumb too, practice.
Stop. Don't get bring your test cards.
All right, I'm gonna
Uh,
go it now.
All right.
I got a 35 out of 55. And she did get that correct because when I was doing corrections, I realized that I did stuff that she was gonna take out anyway.
Yeah. Right.
And I was living.
I think
and
I got those
do-
right.
I didn't do the explanation for it. I just.
I think I should do it.
I think it's boring. The explanation was so rude. Like when I was like, how does this? I don't know what's.
Your normal explanation needs to be in the back.
Yeah, or the ones that I didn't do explanation for in the back too. I've never done tech corrections. I didn't done all that.
Well, all right, that's your homework.
I remember like in AP and Geo, she would give us vocab and half the class would like do most of the vocab but then not finish. She was like,
We still do that.
I just showed her that.
She did it.
Yeah.
She looked like I she did it. I said,
Which I don't like, 'cause I can live I got a 94 in there. Now, watch that.
I don't see
Not my
it.
average.
Oh, 3B.
My-